Go ahead and throw myself back onto the submer boat. Look at this. I wonder if the crew models in here dynamically shift about based on who you have on staff, or if it's just always the same band of friendlers. Wiggling quite friendly. Wait, did that... What was this dial again? Ah, good! Fart is firmly between S and M. Low fart. High's under. Very good. That's torpedo computing over here. You could probably make a hell of a time out of being forced to control the ship by actually wandering around in the 3D viewer. Always ensure fart is properly calibrated. A little bit of mod. I have a Silent Hunter Commander installed, mostly for having like persistent stat tracking, and it can like procedurally, just reaching over to clear that, like procedurally assert what each boat you sink is and what was on it and so forth. If that box there is our communication machine. Now that's probably, you'd probably keep that in the captain's room rather than anywhere else. Let's see, where... Captain's room over here by the radiator and... Radar and sonar operators. That's it. Yep. Alright, there we go. Numeric. Keyboard control. Well, log and code books are definitely in here. And then maybe that radio man would have the gizmo. Wherever it is, let's go. That's the hydrophone operator. Using his advanced wheel spinning techniques. Let's... Compass. Which I suppose once we do have radar, that will not be a placeholder box. Photograph. But there's our Enigma machine. Hello, friend. Outputs to tape. Very helpful. Radio tuners. Is this a fuse board? Anyway, enough of this. There's mapping to do. There's orders to reconsult for AM32. We are to patrol grid AM32. Whichever one that is over here. Over up this way, off up here. Off Scotland. That is our destination. Boat, but underwater. Doing this full quap would be shenanigans. There's someone in the LP forum who has, as a while for a gimmick, been trying to engage in Silent Hunter in real time. Because the thing that this game does that I find great and enjoyable is it very accurately models just how absolutely vast and empty the ocean is. Sea, very large. Boat, not so large. Enemy boat, difficult to find. Anyway, let's plot a course out of here. Where is my appropriate tool for that? There, plot course. Alright, first we must leave harbor. Via roughly... getting in and out of harbor is always terribly tedious. So anyway, yes, because the ocean is so large, there is time compression for most of your sensible day-to-day boatery. However, when you are very close to, say, enemies or land, time compression is capped aggressively. I think there should be a canal over here that might be something you have to mod into the game rather than having it there by default. I'm not sure. Like we're here in Kiel, and it's the Kiel Canal. If it exists, it's somewhere around here. If not, we have to go all the way around Denmark every time we want to go on a mission. It's worth it to get at the Type 7s, but it's arduous. It sorely tempts you to just accept using a Type 2 and work out of France. Although, well, we don't have bases in France yet. We do have some other base though. Some alternative that's on that side, but is only equipped to handle Type 2s, or just is only stocked with Type 2s. There are tiny garbage boats. Alright. Set course to get away from Denmark. Head way up north. And then get to our grid. That will be 2,400 kilometers of boating. Away! Crew fatigue is still on, but I haven't, like, adjusted to sensible levels of crew fatigue, not weird energy management disorder levels of fatigue that exist in the base game. Out of the regular difficulty realism options, the overall rating's at 30-something% right now. Basically, I have like all of the supply and fuel management difficulty on. You know, we got to worry about air, batteries, diesel. But I have left off things like dud torpedoes and like increased damage harshness or cut down sensor efficiency and all of that. I have left on the realism that makes you need to plan carefully for your mission, and turned off the realism that makes your mission itself more arduous. I think, yes, that while inside of any of the 3D views, we can get as high as 32 times time compression. And while we're still in the bay here, that's going to constrain us. Hello, friendly boat. Little Schnellboot. Cruising about on patrol. Alright, yeah, I can get things up higher now. A little bit. There we go. Let's see. Now that we're in motion, we have a time estimate. It will take 89 hours to reach our patrol grid at current speeds. My time compression is being restrained by the fact that I'm near... Well, it was knocked back down by the fact that we sighted a boat. We sighted... should be vaguely... There it is, yeah. We spotted that boat. Which is not the Schnell boot we saw earlier, but something else that looks to be a destroyer. Let me go into me scope room here. Let me thoroughly survey this mysterious contact. Yeah, there we go, a Type 34. Zoom on in, let me crack open the old boat identifying manual. The US boats. Which is yes, the important added layer of difficulty of I don't German, so... Alright, Russian boats, Romanian boats, Polish, Norwegian boats, Netherlands boats, Japanese, the Italian Navy, Indian, Greenland, my friend. Alright, there we go. List of hey, where do you think you're going? I'm identifying you. You hold still. Bismarck, Hipper, Homer's Raider. You got like the one stack, the other little stack. The elevated crown slopes back down. Two guns on the back and the one kind of in the middle. Two more on the nose. Yep, story checks out. Give me a firing solution. I kid. Boats. Yeah, let's get on up to cruise and just don't collide with it, okay? We got plenty of ocean to work with. Yeah, see, we're fine. Just boat on, friends. We have identified boat. So let's see, engineer. Oh yeah, that's just the direct gauges. Navigator reports. What can you give me? Range at current speed. Alright, so at our cruising speed right now, we have enough fuel for over 7,000 kilometers of travel. Given that just the raw there out is... It was 25 when we got started. So yeah, there and back, 5,000 of that is just the there and back journey. We have 2,400 of wiggle room fuel. The board is for conducting important boating math. That wiggle room fuel will be spent during times of submergence or increased speed and what have you. I'm not even sure if a head standard is our most fuel efficient speed. If I wanted to, I think dropping to 1/3 there, or calling it numerically, I think like 10 knots is the ideal cruise speed of this particular U-boat. That's where it measures its best endurance. Night has fallen. So to contextualize, we are here in March 1940. And the seas are in a state of unrestricted submarine war. Well, not yet unrestricted completely. I think, maybe. We're probably still under, like, a little bit of restraint. We're not at war with everyone yet. At this time, French boat, English boat, presumably other Commonwealth member boat, those are the enemy. If a Polish vessel somehow found its way out here, which is not unreasonable, a lot of the Polish Navy escaped the fall of the country and just continued serving by cooperating with the English. This boat, though, that's neutral. It's not even close enough that we've seen it, it's just a known contact via whatever means. We're aware that a couple of minutes ago there was boat that way. Or maybe we can see it. Get me my ocular. One we've seen ourselves, or just one we've heard about on the radio. Well, no sign of it on my very wobbly horizon. Go ahead and map. Let's see, that's... yeah, 40 kilometers away. Definitely not one we've seen ourselves. We just have news of it. Heard words regarding boat. Back up to cruise time. Although I do want to keep an eye on the map, because if we get news about faux boat, then the hunt may begin. (1024) is maximum time compression. Friendly boat over there. Well met. And another neutral over here on the coast. Presumably Swede. Perhaps Norwegian. Oh, it's more likely Norwegian. We are very firmly on the Norway side of the lines. No bother, we do not yet have authorization to engage such a thing, so we'll just cruise on by. Further boating news. Interesting. Oh, do we now have actual live contact? Yes, genuine boat sighting. Here on this lovely eve. Give me a look at that boat. Small merchant. 5 kilometers away. Checks out. That's a boat. Just a fine day's peaceful boat watching. Crew, please. That's the same boat we were just looking at. Don't re-spot it and delay the time advance. The captain is in his space. Once we get closer to hostile territory, we might start to get news. Or we're feeling frisky, I would try to head in closer to the shore. That would greatly increase the chance that we would make direct contact with things, rather than just getting word of them. But we'd also be, patrolled at, seen by hunting boats. Or birds. Deadly, deadly birds. Hold on. Alright, let's drop back down to real time and take a moment to contemplate that 2 hours ago, a hostile vessel was seen here heading west-northwest. Now begins the boat math. Supposing, over the course of those 2 hours that he maintained, speeds of about 10 knots, he could be present roughly there, based on that intel. So that would put him 264k from our current location. Let's project this line outward harder. Larger, stronger line. Roughly yay words. Line is nearest us at about 233. In which time our target would be roughly there. Posing similar speeds. Project forward 230 from there. Target would be there. Instead, for thereabouts, much farther off of the line am I at various angles here. To the point where this become different to that. Yeah, that's about the right point. I now set course. Yay words! Fair chance that I would be able to make contact with that boat. Let's go for it.
Yes, sir. New course 224. Yes, sir. New course 202.
Also been maintaining surface speed of more like 15. Cut in a bit sooner. So I'm hitting 15 and he is hitting around 10, as would be common for some sort of casual boat. He would only cover 2/3 of this distance. Would be closer to there. Supposing those highly vacuous and arbitrary assumptions about our target's velocity hold. Always been on math. Let's cruise. Let's see if I've given us a vector that's roughly appropriate for plan I had sketched out. That seems right. Ish. A little too south. No, sure, wait, yeah, let's try about 200 degrees. Now we're both strategically. Crew, how's my watch? Quite motivated. Quite zealous. Quite... Watch officer, get on deck. What are you doing, lounging about? You have work to do. Torpedo crew can relax. There's nothing to shoot at. You have to find them jobs. You're a job creator, Watchman. Fortunately, you can make course corrections and adjustments to speed and so forth without having to worry about your time compression. That is not capped by engaging controls of the boat. At least not when you do it numerically like that. So once we get to around that line, we'll settle in and idle for a while. See if we make contact at, I'm not even sure, right, by the estimates, we would be getting there around the time this fellow gets there. Maybe. Ish. Once we get there, we'll slow down, settle in, wait and see what happens. And if nobody shows up by, you know, roughly, we'll give it some hours of lounging around. Actually, just go ahead and go to a stop. Daylight comes and we look for boats. Our news blip has vanished. Perhaps that intel has expired. Either way, the math was sound. Math is not at fault. Back on course, Navigator. Time to thread the 200-kilometer wide needle that is... I don't know if this strait has a name. If you'd even call it a strait at 200 kilometers, if it's not just more ocean. This gap. And its many small bits. We cruise. Boat sighting.
Yes, sir.
What do we got?
Head slow.
We have that the weather is kind of rude.
Ship spotted. Bearing 293. Long range.
One fish boat. There we go. Here is the book of generic civilian vessels. $81-ton fishing boat. And the action music ensues. Let's go buzz this tiny boat.
Yes, sir. Ahead 1/3.
If the weather were not so garbage, I could put guys on the cannon. But it is too choppy. No one will man the gun. Alright, it's gotten closer to the front since I turned the boat. There you are. On regular, non-fancy scope. The hunt is on. We have become fairly visible. As can happen. I don't think I need the fancy scope for that. I can see him, just plain old eyeball. There he is. Wee small boat. Still coming towards us, not backing off. Perhaps we are not yet seen. Just for reference sake, just say if we were to launch a torpedo, hypothetically, torp this tiny fish boat, we do have the solution. We are launched. That's some good watching, officer. Right, boat is drawing ever nearer. Are we sure that I can't put anyone on any of the gun? Nope. No volunteers. Oh, is that... He's turning towards us? You'll wanna fight me?
10 degrees to port.
A challenger?
Yes, sir. Rudder 20 degrees to port. Rudder 3
On the port.
degrees to port. Yes, sir. Rudder 5 degrees to port. Rudder 1 degrees to port. Yes, sir. Ahead flank.
Flanking speed.
Yes, sir. Rudder 8 degrees to port.
Just a smidge.
Yes, sir. Rudder 1 8 degrees to port. Yes, sir. Rudder 2 degrees to port. Yes, sir. Rudder 10 degrees to starboard. Yes, sir. Rudder 0 degrees to port.
Steady.
Yes, sir.
Steady.
Degrees to port. Yes, sir. Rudder 3 5 degrees to port.
Steady. Ready?
Yes, sir. Rudder 1 agrees to port.
Hear that, boys? That's the sound of victory.
Yes, sir. Ahead 1.
Time for a damage control. Actually, it looks like we're unharmed. By and large, yeah, hull integrity 100. Nothing. All right, never mind. Regular party. No damage to control. Successful boating. It's free tonnage, Jim. Navigator, resume course.
Returning to course, sir.
Some good boating. We've accomplished something today. Yeah, there we go. I've dropped to 1/3 speed, 9 knots, and look at that fuel economy. It becomes necessary if you start trying to engage in much wider patrols. Although by the time you start getting orders to go way the hell out there, you're probably in one of the more advanced, longer range subs. This is a mere 7B. It can reach the Americas if it has to. It shouldn't. Radio man, report our triumph.
Aircraft spotted.
Shit, aircraft periscope.
Periscope
Yep,
down.
birds. Birds are responding. Keep watch for birds. Gently into the deep. Perhaps into the more deep than just scope depth, really. I mean, if we're trying to avoid notice by birds, I'd rather just kind of get underwater entirely.
Depth 24 meters.
Especially when birds seem like they might be swiveling in our direction. Yeah, let's get well below scope depth and be more depth. Carry on our merry way. We're, of course, terribly slow while underwater because we have to switch over to our electrical engine rather than our diesel one. As happens. deep is the water out here? Probably manageable.
Yes, sir. New depth. 5.
We can afford to get deeper.
meters.
I mean, against hostile birds, it's going to be torpedo bomber rather than... Nobody drops depth charges from a plane. The great danger they would pose is keeping an eye on us and provoking a boat into coming after us with more substantial submarine hunting weapons.
Current depth 30.
I'll just mosey on down to a comfortable 50 meters. Yep, right as the weather cleared, we get birds. For anti-aircraft defense, we have this singular machine gun up on the deck of the boat. That's all we get. That's it. One gun. That is the entirety of our anti-aircraft complement. One gun, manually aimed, no rugs. Alright, the birds should not notice us at this depth. Maybe. Now we just have to listen. That's normal. Perfectly ordinary boat operating noises. Yup. The ocean. Majestic. Cold. Aloof. Foreboding. I'll just cruise like this for some hours until we are substantially far away from the point of impact. Seen here, diesel fuel, battery, compressed air supply, and carbon levels. Yeah, I figure we'll run the battery out of the green, then head up to scope depth and snoop around. Actually, is there a timestamp on the kill? There is not. Tragic. That would give me much valuable information by which to judge whether the heat is down. You know what? Fuck it. Scope. I wish to observe. Are there any signs of marauding birds? Minimal signs of birds.
Yes, sir.
Surface the boat.
Surface the boat.
Because being submerged and draining the battery, and thus needing to recharge the battery, are a pretty big strain on our fuel economy. We cannot endure nearly as much undersea time as we can regular old surface time. Most submarine attacks in this era were actually conducted while surfaced, using ordinary, just look at things scopes. It was just more convenient all around. The merging was for sneaking and evading, for relatively short spans of time. You would not get submersible boats that spend the bulk of their time underwater until after this war. Particularly nuclear submarines. Once you have those, yeah, they can just live under the ocean forever. Hundreds of years. Over and over again. Alright, let's boat. Medium speed. You are more likely to be a fighting boat. Something I am trained to avoid. You, however, are slow. Slow and steady means a target. Minutes ago, there you were. How far apart are we? It's 20 kilometers away, so hypothetically we'd be inside of it quite soon. On a slightly more... No, actually, let's... So, project your course out. Like so. I want to get within a kilometer of that line. But to get within a couple kilometers of that line, and ideally like perpendicular to where they are, so that it can be torpedoing into their side in the event of attack posture. Let's see. But a little more so. Expectation is that this contact will appear somewhere along this line, or within this ring. Whoa!
Surface the boat.
Get on the deck. Get on the... Hey, crew? Crew, can anybody be a real shit? No? Alright, fine. Fine, dive. Assholes. It was a trick. These crafty English birds. Hey crew, is there any no damage yet? You've not been struck by anything, merely buzzed. Get underwater, like, urgent, like.
Contact! Merchant! Closing! Bearing! 1-6, long range.
What's that, Sonarman? We have noise? Merchant closing at long range? Where are you at, Sonarman? Sonar, where did you hear this fun, wonderful boat? Closing at 1-6? Oh, right, there we go. We get these dark lines, because we have only a vague idea of where a sonar contact is. We'll have to get to scope depth in order to launch torpedoes at it, but I can at least track it.
Current depth 30. New course 267.
Ahead 1/3.
These birds may in fact be deliberately escorting this merchant I'm hoping to assail. At least it sounds like a merchant.
Current depth 40.
It could be a merchant. Maybe it's one of them tricksy Q-boats. Cunning English birds.
Yes, sir.
I am going to dare to scoot my way up to scope depth. It'll take a moment to get there, but I will dare to scoot. We need only touch for a moment in order to have a chance of getting the shot off. Merchant contact is vaguely over there. It is consistent with our line. Let's see if I like swing hard left and then just stop.
Yes, sir. New course 178. Yes, sir. Ahead slow.
As if they are continuing along this same original course, vaguely. I am 1.2 kilometers away from that line, which is a pretty choice torpedoing range. Need to finish ascending. Keep moving a little bit because moving is it's the heart of how you change depth.
Yes, sir.
If you're just relying purely on ballast, then you're going to relatively lethargically bob. Okay, there we go. Cargo ship, heading east. Heading slow. No sign of bird at this time, but they could be anywhere. Remain vigilant. Lock on target, Class 2 cargo vessel. Currently 3.5 kilometers away and closing 6 knots. No signs of enemy evasive maneuver. And let me extend a line. Yeah, this is looking good. This is ideal ambush position. We have the 4 forward tubes and 1 rear tube. And our torpedoes are equipped by way of maths, machinery, and science to conduct elementary maneuvers after being fired. As I am playing at a sensible person difficulty level, all of these computations will be done automatically by the computer. However, in unpleasant mode, what you would need to do is, upon seeing your boat with E-scope, you'd need to, all of this information would not be here. You'd need to take a good look at it, pop open your boat identifying guide, page through it until you find something that looks enough like the silhouette of the ship that you see to guess that, yeah, that's probably what it is. And then, using the fact that you know that the mast is... You take your scope here, and you point it at the top of the mast, and use the resulting angle from the horizon that you get here to math out how far away the boat is based on that known height and angle. Then you know range to boat. Then you compute angle of boat, based on knowing the boat's actual length and actual width from your boat identifying guide, versus its apparent width and length on your scope. Then you will have the necessary data by which to compute range, angle, speed, and in doing that, then proceed to do maths for your torpedo to figure out when it should launch, how fast it should go, when it should turn and how sharply, and so forth, in order to strike boat. Submarines. If you're in sensible people mode, you just point at thing, push lock button, wait for ideal firing solution, and then give her.
Yes, sir. All stop.
Okay, so what I've recognized is happening here is because of the choppy weather and the exact depth we're at, we keep sloshing the periscope up and down out of the ocean, which keeps cutting our line of sight and breaking the automatic lock. So I'm going to get a little closer to the surface, maybe, hopefully. If I can orchestrate that sort of bobbing.
Yes, sir. Surface the boat.
Just surface the boat. Just up. Finish to up.
Yes, sir. Back slow.
Anchor up. Where'd my cargo ship go? Batman, you still got that noise? We got that noise. We nominally have a contact. So there you are.
Yes, sir. New depth.
Not
5 meters.
not actually
New depth.
surface.
1,
Just
1
keep like 10
meters.
meters.
New depth. 10 meters.
Good. Never believe rude weather. And yes, using the auto-computing is quite relatively fair, since actual boatmen would have charts and graphs and slide rules and so forth to conduct this math quickly. Pre-computed math on handy wheels. And, you know, have trained professionally to do this quickly in a reasonable manner.
Yes, sir. All stop.
And have a team of experts working together in order to handle all the bits and bobs. Your birds cannot help you now. They could if they were around and knew I was here. That would be quite alarming, and I would need to take a less than good shot and then run for dear life rather than continue to engage. But I can continue to engage. Many submarines would also prefer, when raiding, to surface and use their cannon to shoot boats the regular way, since you can carry a lot more bullet than you can torpedo. You save your torpedo for fancy, powerful, large targets. There's like if I go to my weapon officer here. Yeah, let's see, I got 14, I think, is the count of torpedoes on this thing. 4 up front, 1 in the back. Various reserves and a couple stapled to the outside of the ship. Meanwhile, over in cannon dimension, I got shells for days. Piercing, exploding. Got some flares in here somewhere. Yeah, these are flares. A stack of 40 flares. And my machine gun ammo. Quite helpful. Ah yes, and even on crazy difficulties, you can still like ping your your weaponry officer here to hand you a for right now firing solution. It just won't smoothly update. You have a series of tools. Alright, they're closing in. Just straight and steady. They see nothing of us. I mean, look at all these switches and dials. Depth, tube, speed, angle, gyro angle. Boats. Torpedo is a terrifyingly complicated piece of machinery. As I mentioned, my ideal time to fire, when these shots will be coming in perpendicular to the victim. Ensuring that they have the widest profile to slam into. Is getting close to now. Gunnery officer, please. Focus. I need my math as up to date as possible. Alright, yeah, this is it. This is our firing window. Alright, tube 1, away. Now, if it hits, one torpedo should be enough to kill a ship like this. It might take a while for them to finish flooding and so forth, fully go down, but one will do, damage-wise. If it manages that nice square hit. That is a torpedo.
Torpedo impact.
And that's a hit.
Yeah!
Square in the mid bits. Excellent. And astonishing, considering I hadn't even bothered to, like, put a full shift worth of men into the forward torpedo room. There were just a bunch of tired randos. So I think that mostly affects reload speed rather than other factors. Anyway, navigator,
Yes,
put us
sir.
on course.
Returning to course, sir.
Split it clean in half. And that was one of our T1s. Gas-powered torpedo. I do have a couple of these electrically driven ones. They are, by most measures, worse, but they're harder to spot since they don't release strings of bubbles as they cruise.
Yes, sir.
Surface the boats that we can get up to decent speed and scoot harder. The sooner we leave right next to Scotland, the safer I will feel. That has to take a little bit of priority over strict spotting. Besides, we're fairly small. We're low visibility comparatively.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I mean, just yeah, let's finish surfacing here, and yeah, just look at us. This is a comparatively slim boat. Okay, yeah, waves. Weather continues. It's a comparatively small boat. You can just see right up there by the humans on the human deck. Stay safe up there, watch crew. Mind the chop. We have a couple of further boat contact over there, some of which are slow, so we may have the chance to catch a few more fish as we head over the north here. See if I just project lines for them. Let's see. That one we'd be vaguely on schedule to touch, supposing that they're continuing along that course. The second one, not so much. That's well out of our reach. Yeah, if that's another cargo ship, we'll get to swat it around. If it's some sort of patrol vessel, then maybe we swat it around anyway. Show it who's boss. There are in the difficulty options you can turn off oxygen and carbon limits and batteries and even fuel if you want and so forth. You can shift it over to fully Unreal arcade mode. Bird. Crew, somebody. No? Okay.
Yes, sir.
I guess we're submerging again. Here we go back into water.
4 meters. New depth, 5 meters. We're under attack, sir.
Really? You're just swinging regular ass bombs at me. Weird. We should be relatively safe from those then. They'll have a hard time landing a direct hit. In general, with our boat so small.
Current depth 10.
I love that the incidental reports from the voice actors, they whisper when you're needing to be sneaky. We're fine.
Depth charges no longer serve. Current depth 2.
Alright, since these are planes and not boats, they don't have sonar, so I'm not going to worry about running the engine a bit loud. If it gets us away from the birds sooner, that is exactly what I want from life. It would help if we didn't have this giant orange circle on the surface of the water indicating our position and heading. That would get High Command on the line when possible to try and renegotiate that if we can.
Yes, sir.
Let's go deeper.
New depth, 1 0 0.
Yeah, they're way off target. They have no idea where I am at this point. Ish. On the scale of the ocean, they're zeroed right in on me, but right here, tactically, we're fine. No biggie. We don't even need evasive maneuvers. We got this.
Current depth 6 0. Yes, sir. New depth 7 9. Current
Yeah, we
depth,
good.
7 0.
I mean, they can only have so many bombs on hand to drop anyway. That's already been like three
Current depth 8 0.
misses. Wait,
Yes,
about
sir.
damage.
New depth 5 6.
But we hit the bottom.
Two,
Did we hit the bottom? Did we touch? Did we touch rock?
Damage, sir. We're
Uh,
taking damage, sir. Yes, sir. New depth 2 3. Back full. All stop. Ahead slow.
damage control. Damage control party, get to work. Alright, we bruised the ship a little. Now I know how deep the water is here. It's not 70.
New depth 4 7.
Okay. Gathering valuable intel. We're a science vessel. We're surveying. Perfectly ordinary civilian traffic. Pay us no heed. Touched Earth. Never touch Earth. Bruised my boat.
Yes, sir. Ahead standard.
Navigator can't ping the seafloor in order to know for sure the depth.
Yes, sir.
Weather report underwater. Well, yeah, we don't just get the regular S. He knows. He has ways. Right. Radio man, report our findings. Don't mention the bruising. We're fine. Alright, let's briefly surface. 15 minutes have passed without an airstrike. We're good. Everything is fine. Boat on. I'll hesitate when we get near that line, just in case this contact decides to show up. Oh, wait, there's something I could be doing. Did we reload that tube? Yeah, let's get a crew together to load that tube. Let's get an officer to oversee the loading of that tube. Let's throw further crew in addition to the previous crew. Apparently it takes a lot of guys to load a tube. It's a real pity that crew management is so firmly borked a subsystem in this, because, yeah. It's a fun thought over the course of the campaign. You need to be shuffling all your guys around, especially, you know, it's a submarine, it has a relatively small crew. We'll have many jobs to do. I don't need anyone manning the electric engine. Leave it alone. Yeah, I can clean up that old math. I cleaned up all the math. Good. Would not want to leave undetonated math on the board. The positioning of the camera means I have to write all this sideways.
Yes, sir.
Never mind, we are not stopping here.
Ahead standard. Yes, sir.
Actually,
Periscope depth.
crew,
Surface the boat.
crew, is weather finally good? No, fine.
Yes, sir. Periscope depth. Yes, sir. New depth. 3, 2.
Bonus to 25.
New depth. 2, 4.
Perhaps it didn't even notice we were here. No, it noticed. Just a little bit. Just enough. I don't think the AI can ever misidentify you. It's, when you're noticed, and boat fight ensues. How's our operational range holding out? Good. As long as we keep that 2,500 and change in reserve for the trip home, we'll be fine. We're almost to our patrol grid anyway. Wherein we don't even actually have to do anything in there. We can just head out, sit 24 hours, and go home if we really want. I'll try to search it.
Ship spotted.
Whoop, hold on. We have word of boat. Intermittent contact fighters. Another fisherman. Just a wee trawler. Plot and intercept.
Yes, sir. Rudder 9. Degrees to starboard. Yes, sir. Ahead flank. Yes, sir. Rudder 2. Degrees to starboard. Rudder.
Our war will not end until the sea is cleaned of every British fisherman. And the weather remains absolute garbage. Our devious adversaries and their strategic use of wind. Powerful storm, Magi. Gentle turns. He's close enough that I can start getting into eyeballing zone here.
Yes, sir.
I'm starting to get a little off the road.
Degrees to starboard. Yes, sir. Rudder 0. Degrees to port.
Radio man, report our contact. Send word that battle is joined. Alright, here we go. The final moments, the most crucial of all in the engagement.
Rudder 9 degrees to starboard.
Steady. Steady.
Rudder 0 degrees to port. Rudder 1 degrees to starboard. Rudder 3 degrees to starboard. Rudder 1 6 degrees to starboard.
Rudder right.
Rudder 3 5 degrees to starboard.
You won't slip my grasp. Brace! Clever girl. I see that's not your first joust, sir.
Head 1/3. Head standard. Rudder 0 degrees to starboard. Ahead flank. Rudder 3 degrees to starboard. Rudder 2 degrees to port. Rudder 3 4 degrees to port.
How wide is our turning circle in this thing?
Rudder 3, 1 degrees to starboard. Rudder 3, 3 degrees to starboard.
My rival, unidentified English trawler. The other way.
4 degrees to port.
Need to get ahead of him.
Head forward. Ahead 1/3.
Eddie. See our relative position. Yes.
Rudder 1 degrees to port. Ahead standard. Ahead full. Rudder 4 degrees to port. Rudder 1 degrees to starboard. Rudder 6 degrees to port. Rudder 1 degrees to port. Yeah! Rudder 0 degrees to port. Head standard.
Yes! Their tiny boat cannot survive such rough seas. My clever strategy of flipping them with my wake. Pro boat maneuvers.
Yes, sir. Returning to course, sir.
Trust me, it's sinking. Any day now. We got this. This is what we will say that, yeah, there we go. There we go. You're having a bad day, friend. He was my most hated foe, yet in another world, I could have called him friend. Godspeed, unnamed English trawler. How old is this news and how far away? Only 10 minutes old, and 20 kilometers out?
Yes, sir.
If we cut due north, we might be able to catch that one.
3, 5, 7.
Like, let's see, 34 away.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if we gun it at standard. That's a candidate for an intercept.
Yes, sir.
Let's try it. See what we get. Hopefully something torpedo-worthy.
Ship spotted.
Ahoy! Boat. And what matter about cargo boat? Cargo boat in continued shitty weather.
Yes, sir. Ahead standard.
Alright, get us up to standard speed. But a little eastwards. So let's see, now that I have the clearer picture of their course, let's just project that out there for reference. So I then want to end up on roughly this line here at some point, which from current position I boat on up to using similar speeds. If I boat on up to about there, I would catch them. The chase is on. The weather still far too foul to consider putting somebody on the cannon. Torpedoes may be fired bullseye. We got like double their speed at standard. They are far from swift. It's freighter. Surely filled to the brim with all sorts of nefarious allied schemes. Close in for the kill. Let's see how... starting to get into the ideal, getting closer to the right distance. Angles are nearly holding up. Yeah, assumptions are pretty steady. We're about halfway. They're about halfway where we're projected. Buy hasty and secure this map. Alright, you know what?
Yes, sir. Periscope.
Take her to scope. how many hatches you guys have to close? So much clattering around.
Sir, ahead full.
Full speed. Eventually, you can install a snorkel to allow you to continue to run the diesel engine even at moderate, like, low levels of subversion. At scope depth. This boat is not snorkel
Current
equipped,
depth,
though.
10.
Maybe I'll try one of my electrics. Yeah, can I get all relevant personnel to the torpedo room? All relevant personnel to the torpedo room. Thank you. A torpedo attack is in progress. All relevant personnel to stations. Actually, we are way too slow when submerged. Forget it. I want this over quickly. I mean, technically, I could reposition myself however I want with that 1 knot speed advantage over them. It would take hours.
Yes, sir. Ahead full.
Man, look at the difference these torpedo types make. Yes, torpedoes, so much faster. Electrical torpedoes. Need to cut that tighter angle.
Yes, sir. Ahead flank. New course. 4-2.
Turn a little harder so I can try and get closer to that ideal angle. I'm up that premium torpedo strike. I will give credit where it's due to the ocean for its contribution to our successful hunting. Alright, we are now plausibly visible. But how much attention are you paying? Allied cargo ship. Enough attention, perhaps, to evade this tube.
Firing tube 3.
I mean, this is not great in terms of range and angle and so forth, but it's serviceable. It is a solution. And if it doesn't work out, I can always get closer. Yes. Closer.
Yes, sir. New course. 4, 5. Yes, sir. New course. 3, 4. Yes, sir. New course. 2, 3. Yes, sir. Head standard.
Alright, that one was a miss. Just need to try a few more of these, and then we'll be able to convince High Command to never give us them again. Stick with what works. Well, actually, maybe it's just let me check the torpedo map. All right, never mind. That's yeah, the action camera cut out early, but it's still there. It's just taking a very long time to get there. These 3-minute torpedo shots. Alright, there we go. That's our estimated time of impact based on the old solution. Still very much advising Command to never ship these again. Alright, here we go. Here's the approach.
Torpedo impact.
It's good.
Yes, sir. Head 1/3.
Perhaps I misjudged you, Electric Torpedo. I will try to take the earliest opportunity to get the external torpedoes dragged inside for ease of use. Now we sit back and enjoy.
Yes, sir.
Navigator,
Returning to course, sir.
resume course. Don't interrupt my boat watching to tell me we're going back on course, because I told you we're going back on course. You put us on that bearing. You leave your maps and charts on the table. Don't come up here and shove them in my face when I am boat watching. Trust us, it's sinking. Is it sinking? It might not be sinking yet.
Head standard.
The hunt continues.
New course. 3, 3, 4. New course. 3, 4, 8. Head forward.
He's still alive. Clearly, this vessel is a test bed for some sort of powerful experimental allied anti-torpedo armor. Alright, give her number 4. If only I had my gun. pursue it for the next 24 hours or so. Hope the weather cleans up.
Yes, sir.
Navigator, give me the forecast. "15 is a fair clip of wind."
Ahead 1/3. Ahead slow.
I'm not using the scope for. I can see it right there. Ahoy! Cargo vessel. Fight me. I kind of want the scope for the stopwatch. Yes. "20 seconds. 15. 10.
Torpedo impact.
You're early."
Yeah!
Alright, gun crew, I know you are excited, but don't get all yelping and hollering until we've confirmed the boat is going down. We hit it, and that's nice. They're losing speed and so forth, but it's not dead yet.
All stop.
The arming distance on these torpedoes. Wouldn't want to get too close. Ranged 5 to 7, 5 or 5 to 12.5, but that's big distances. Nothing about a minimum. So you gonna sink or what?
Ahead 1/3. New course 1.
What is your deal? How do you work? I'm going to have to follow you until the weather calms down. God help me.
Current speed 5 knots.
Yeah, you know what? Sure. Let's just wait a while and see what happens. You see, it's a sniper's trick. We find one boot, and leave it wounded, so that it will attract others. Alright, if she's gonna turn across the front of us again, I will give her another tube. Double stop. Got that nice torpedo lock. Got that 33 seconds to impact.
Firing tube.
Tube 1. She's looks like she's got a bit of a list. Be sure that no one at all. Nope, still hesitation. Engine crew's getting tired. Damage control team, you are now engine team. Enjoy. Should probably watch the torpedo. Yeah, there we go. Another solid hit to the midship.
Yeah!
It's on fire now. That's an improvement. Perhaps this time.
Ahead slow.
Yeah, secondary explosions. Very nice. Split in half. That'll do it.
Yeah! Yes, sir. Ahead 1/3.
Alright, after a fashion. Go ahead and note there. 1, 2, 3. That's purple boat. Folded quite nicely down the middle. Navigator,
Yes, sir.
back on
Turning to
course.
sir.
Our patrol grid is out there somewhere. And crew. Crew. Tired crew. Let's go ahead and grab a bunch of you. And then a bunch of you. Yeah, if we don't add up enough competence on the bar, then they can't execute the reload. How about now? Progress. Progress. Good. And that is several minutes that it takes these tubes to reload. At best. Right. Contact. Contact. Birds!
Periscope depth.
Always the birds.
Yes, sir. New depth. 19 meters.
That's 3. That's a new number of birds to see in a group.
Yes, sir. Ahead standard. Yes, sir. Ahead flank. Ahead full.
Always with the birds on the quick response. Alright, if it's letting me jump the timing cell up, I guess we have escaped. We have another reload finished. Surface the damn boat. Want these torpedoes inside. Make it happen. And that takes hours. I don't care if you're out all night. I do care if the engine is running hot all night. Stop that. Think of the price of diesel. Maybe the rear external tube can only go to the aft reserve? Maybe. That might be just too awkward to execute. That's 4 dead boats so far. Dead of causes definitely attributable to us. So I may as well... Oh, no, not you. Not you right there. This one. Let's go ahead and plan out 24 hours of noodling around the patrol zone. Of which... Yeah, 24 hours of noodling around the patrol zone. There you go. Good old-fashioned, kinda skewed right triangle. Sure you can't hold that indoors. Fine. Just leave it there. Usually most of your actual missioning happens going to or from your patrol grid rather than in the grid itself. Journey home. That way, this way, and back into vaguely friendly water. There we go. Navigator, set course for my parking spot. Steady as we go. Yeah, heading into the... Whoa, hold on. That is news I'd like to hear. Turnabout. What do we got there? Fresh communication. "35 away. And pretty much an ideal probable intercept point there. Perfect. Take us in. crew is relatively jumbled, but could do with the shuffling. There we go. That'll hold up. You can nap. We're not shooting anyone yet. Take a while off. It'll be whole hours before we reach contact. These reports are the result of just miscellaneous information. Other boats managing to get word to us of a time and place that a ship was found. Either other boats that were out patrolling and noticed things they didn't want to engage, or the efforts of spies, intercepted communications, all sorts of intel. You can eventually get a radar on your U-boat, but those won't be accessible for quite a while. And your radar is of limited capability when it does exist. We don't have one. Have only our hydrophone, not even an active sonar system. We cannot ping. Only listen. The dread whispers of the sea. Pretty good source of intel. Whale song. It is evening, so it might be a bit harder to see our hypothetical
Ship
contact.
spotted.
Or we'll see him right there.
Yes, sir.
Very good. You're a little more nimble than I thought.
316. Yes, sir. Ahead 1/3.
A coastal merchant. Well, if you could stop, if you could finish turning. Where is he? There. Could have also used the keyboard panning around rather than mouse look, I suppose. Alright, there we go. 4 kilometers out. 9 knots. Yes, you are quite spry. Ahead full. Coastal for broad. Well, I suppose there's a coast over there. He's probably noodling back and forth between whichever island this one is. And the main one. I'm vaguely aware of its name. I fought over it in Europa. Turn more north.
333.
Let's see. For each 9 that you move, I will move 15. Alright, so I have the speed necessary to intercept out thereabouts. Turn due north.
New course 359.
So my destination then is about here. Which is about due north.
Yes, sir. All stop. Yes, sir. All stop.
Overlap between
Head full.
highways. Regret. Yes, to briefly be distracted, the Isle of Man is this one here, I believe. This guy in the middle. That's Man. Oh yes, carrying on in this manner, vaguely due north. Keep an eye on my prize. Yeah, geometry is checking out. Closing in kind of parallel. Swing wide and then cut in. We are ahead of them now. If I cut in now, that'll do it. Oh, we're down.
Yes, sir. New course. 330. Yes, sir. New course. 315. Yes, sir. Ahead standard. Ahead 1/3.
Attained the necessary positioning.
Yes, sir. Ahead 1/3.
Mosey on up to my firing line and take this shot. Firing line has stayed largely consistent. Get to there. Ish.
Yes, sir.
Learn a little
New course.
western.
291. Yes, sir. New course. 281. Yes, sir. Ahead slow. Ahead 1/3.
Let's be on the scope for this. Closing in. Nice and steady. Firing computers as we are good. And 3, 2.
Firing 2-1. Yes, sir. All stop.
This is where I want to be. Ish. Wait, how's the weather tonight? We are some distance and some hours away from
Yes, sir.
wind speed still 15. Same wind everywhere. 20 seconds to impact.
Torpedo impact.
Alright, good looking hit.
Yeah!
They're losing... Yeah, they're losing speed. Don't get triumphant yet, music! Celebrate when you can tell me that it's dead. Or when I can put my men on the cannon. Well, the hunt resumes, I guess.
Yes, sir. New course. 331. Yes, sir. Head 1/3. Yes, sir. New course. 318.
They are burning. Might just take time. Have to. This is a good angle to throw the second torpedo at them.
Firing tube 2.
If I don't use them, logistics is just gonna come to me.
Yes, sir. New course. 358. Yes, sir. Ahead slow.
Nobody likes being there at the meeting where you have to explain all your unused munitions. You gotta defend your decision not to engage more targets. I mean, if we have to, we could just run the fuel down a whole bunch and say that, oh boy, the chases we had. I will spin you a yarn. Our days of adventure on the high seas.
Yes, sir. New course. 49. Torpedo impact.
That's a hit. That's a boat fight.
Yes, sir. Returning to course, sir.
Navigator on
Yes,
course.
sir.
Resume meandering.
Head 1/3.
Now, for security's sake, the destruction of the math. Will be issued fresh math each morning of the operation. Weapons officer, will we have reloads? Weapons officer. There. A hardy crew. They just needed some motivating. Fill them tubes. Alright, now we just need to meet our quota of faffing about on the high seas, and then we go home. I have more forward torpedo, 3 more rear torpedo, and have not been able to fire a single bullet from any of our gun. Our poor deprived gun. This is where Carl is buried. The wreck is presumably somewhere in this bay. Alright, we have filled our patrol quota. Let us perhaps go home. Radio man, report the fighting. That was some time ago. Ah, there we go. Fine month? Week. Couple of weeks. Bit over a week. What? Bird.
Yes, sir.
Bird. Bird.
Periscope depth.
Hello. Weather?
Surface the boat.
Weather? No.
Yes, sir.
Not weather.
Periscope depth. New depth. 1.
Never mind.
Meters.
Back inside, everyone. The 11th bird. The expedition. And it is circling around, it has noticed.
Yes, sir. New depth. 9 meters. Head standard. Current depth. 10. Yes, sir. Rudder 3. Agrees to port.
Just gonna execute like a singular sharp turn here. In the hope that it will help throw off our birdish pursuer. I would imagine Scapa Flow was chosen for the purpose because it is, you can look at the map here, it's a quite large natural harbor with this lovely enshrouded area. Quite vast. room for many boats. In terms of air supply, we can spend quite a while submerged. Battery doesn't hold out very long for actively running the engine, though. Not at any decent speed. Endurance is fine, though. We have plenty of fuel economy to reach home at the opportunity target. Hold on. Alright, there's a slow boat there very recently, and 3.5 hours ago there was a boat over there. Boat could be around there and attempting to carry on out to here. Or we could try for this closer one, which it's a little potentially rude since it's parallel to us. Actually, it intercepts our intended course a ways off, so sure, it's free boat. Boat rights itself. Just course a little harder east. I don't think you can do any sort of supply. Maybe, if there are... You might be allowed to stop at other friendly harbors where they exist, which is quite sparing for the most part. You can also, as like a campaign thing, you can get reassigned to other ports, have your boat operate elsewhere. You can boat around the Mediterranean, or after the fall of France, you can boat from out of France. Island Hunter 3 only covers the Atlantic, though. And we are nearing the bearing of the expected target. That is now itself 3. Be anywhere within this region, potentially, depending on their speed. Where are you at? Just loiter out here a while and see if something bumbles into us. Alright then, contact now. 5 hours old. It would be nearing our mark. Now or not at all. Their loss. We could have had a nice fight. Oh, I forgot to note you. Max. Afton. Now that we're on the return leg of the voyage, this is fairly safe and largely academic. Getting the half-fuel warning at this leg of the journey, quite nice. Quite safe. A sign that all is well. Yep, steady as she goes. Close encounters with Norwegians. No concern of ours. We have no such orders at this time. Take the opportunity to keep trying to look for that key, that canal that I'm reasonably sure is modeled in the game. There's Hamburg. Where are the endpoints of the Kiel Canal? Out here somewhere. Getting untime compressed by more close encounters with Norwegians. Okay, the canal is a mod. Well, if it could be paired with, like, uncoupling the time compression restrictions that happen when you're close to land, then that would become extremely useful, because then instead of noodling around, for the very reason that the canal was built at all, instead of having to noodle your way up there every time you want to leave the country, you just instead... or whichever section of this landmass it cuts through gets you from there to here. That's why they were even having such boats operate out of here. Well, that, and Germany doesn't have a particularly long list of warm water ports to run business from. All of the ports it has are usually warm-ish, warm enough for boating. And there's another... do we see it, or do we just... fishing boat? Friendly local fishing. Very good. And now, perhaps, finally, yes. Only now has the weather calmed enough to permit gunnery. Good morning, fish boat. How are you? What was that bearing again? About 290. There you are. Ahoy! I mean, do you want to walk in to the debrief and explain why we came home fully stocked on shells? I don't know, Watch Officer, don't you agree that we have sighted an English destroyer? Surely a worthy target for us to engage. Relax. It's just a prank. Yeah, look at all the bits of this mechanism for keeping the sights level. The gun wobbles around. It is very hard to confirm these shots. Let's get closer.
Yes, sir. New course.
Is that bearing?
8-2. Yes, sir. New course. 9-4.
I'm about to the east.
Yes, sir. New course. 8-7.
The hunt is on. Get the old binoculoscope.
Yes, sir.
Go faster.
Head
Of course, stabilizing. Alright, we are now closing in.
Yes, sir. Ahead standard.
8 knots, 4 kilometers out. Take us to 10, ready the cannon. Target required. Good hunting. Fishermen, no, sir. These were smugglers. We intercepted communiques suggesting they were planning to sell secrets to the Russians.
Yes, sir. Ahead standard.
Force speed. Bring us closer.
Yes, sir. Ahead flank. Yes, sir. New course. 9-4.
Alright, very good. Now that we've found several ranges, let's improve the illumination. We've engaged under less than ideal weather. There, just put up a flag. Maybe it.
Yes, sir. New course. 120.
I wonder if the Fisher boat AI even recognizes that this is something that can occur. It's just continuing to meander around on course, or if it's gone a little squirrely in response to the situation. Get me closer.
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure if there's much practical use in gameplay terms to these flares. Hypothetically, they'd help you see things at night, I guess, but what would you illuminate? I'm sure anything the flare would light up, you'd already just be able to see with your watch crew by the time you're... Like, especially with how far the flare travels. That's not very far away. Maybe if specifically it were, like, at night and foggy at the same time. Engineer, how's our fuel reserve? Good. To the ends of the earth. Closing in on our prey. On the bridge. Yeah, only they are 600 meters out, and the flares still go off before we reach them. Unless you just like the use of them is supposed to be popping them like, as high up as the gun will go. Pull over! I am authorized to use force. My flares go right through them. Sorcery. Wait, there we go. Direct hits. They are having a... Alright. Get a crewman back here. We cannot allow
Yes, sir. New course.
for survivors.
Forward. Yes, sir. Ahead 1/3.
No witnesses! This is the extent of our anti-aircraft weaponry, by the way. This is it. Just this thing. One man, this gun, 20 rounds at a time, against this sky. That would be treason. Alright, so we're all clear on what happened here. How to dispose of the evidence. Oh, we need a firing solution? I can't fire torpedoes without a target? Huh. Okay, I guess. Navigator, find me another boat.
Returning to course, sir.
There should be plenty of boats back at harbor. Schnellbow there. Ahoy! Think fast.
Firing tube 1. Firing tube 2. Firing tube 3. Firing tube 4. Firing tube 5.
Relax. Just a prank. Prank torpedoes. Prank impact in 7 seconds. 4 seconds. 1 second. Prank's evaded. Well done, Pledge. Weapons officer, reload. All idle crew, stern torpedo room. Gunner, stand ready to prank. They are 80 degrees. So roughly right there. Why can't they give me bearings? Well, that aiming skip. You'd figure. That little pixel blob there. That's about. Surely. It is quite the Chanel boot. Wait, actual bird. Prepare to engage. Watch officer surveys the scene. I'm out of you, bird. They're everywhere. Keep firing, Marks. Stay on. You got this. Wait, snowboat. It's crossing our path. We may yet have prime opportunity for prank. Status of the torpedoes. Still loading. Ah, Schnellboot veered off. Or was replaced by other Schnells. There are many here. I'm too close to land. Damn it. It happens. Well, all in. Nearly home. Ah, there's the lighthouse. Ahoy! Oh wait, this course might actually... Well, not particularly close, I guess. Maybe. Like, how near is that land, actually? Send out some sounding charges. Oh good, I can continue to operate the gun while time compressing. That's very helpful. Crank compression. As long as I don't use the mouse. It's going to be this nice steady string of craters. As it should be. It'd be nice to have, like, fine attitude control on the keyboard. If there are buttons for it, I am not acquainted with them. It seems like only the base of the lighthouse actually exists. Might not be any collision data for the top of it. That, or, like, beaming up a tiny bit is just causing my gunner to automatically, like, arc up high enough to hit many kilometers away. As one might in a boat. I must destroy the sun. Oh, we're parking. Maybe. Alright, so...
Yes, sir. Head
our,
Rudder 3-5. Degrees to port.
Our estimates for parking vector based on, you know, top-down navigational charts may be a little off.
Back emergency.
No, we're good.
Rudder 2-1. Degrees to starboard. All stop.
Yeah, we got this.
Yes,
It's fine.
Rudder 0.
Damage control team!
Rudder 0. Degrees to port. Rudder 1.
Get working.
Degrees to starboard.
You can run a damage control party, right?
Sir.
Okay. So, from the gun deck.
Yes, sir. Rudder 1. Degrees to port.
Alright. Center rudder.
Yes, sir.
Actually,
Back slow.
reverse with rudder right.
4. Degrees to
Just a little.
starboard.
Yes, check my blind spot. Yup. Good. Maybe we park in that hangar today. No, the usual spot. We got
Yes, sir.
this.
Rudder 3-5. Degrees to starboard.
Okay.
Yes,
We'll
sir.
stop.
All stop.
Enter the rudder.
Yes, sir. Rudder 1. Degrees to port.
Crew, the control efforts underway. We good? Crew? Yeah, we good. We largely good. Yeah, just stay on that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Head.
Slow.
Engines repaired just in time. Very good.
Yes, sir.
By slow, I mean
Speed.
like way slow, I
Knots.
guess. Not even telegraph slow, like biblical slow. Geologic slow. Let us move as the tides. Play. Play. Alright, yeah, just put her.
Yes, sir. Rudder 9 degrees to starboard. Rudder 2.
Rudder,
0
all the
to
degrees.
starboard.
Guys,
Rudder 3 5
Guys.
degrees to starboard.
alright, hold on. Hold on, guys.
Yes, sir. Back emergency. Rudder 3 5 degrees to port.
I can work with this. Yes, this is a
Yes, sir. All stop. Yes, sir. Rudder 1 degrees to port.
damage control team. Good. Keep on that. Alright, to gun deck. Get some backup on gun deck. If that's not too hard. I'd like gun deck active, if possible. Suppose I'd need an officer watching
Yes,
over
sir.
them.
Ahead slow.
Alright. Let's try this again. Gently on the
Current
approach.
Speed, 3 knots. Current speed 2 knots. Yes, sir. Rudder 4 degrees to port. Rudder 1 0 degrees to port. Rudder 3 4 degrees to port. Rudder 2 0 degrees to port. Current speed 3 knots.
Control team, you progressing? Good. Just gonna. You can take care of that yourself. Just your supervisor has other work to do.
Yes, sir. Rudder 1 degrees to port.
Put her there.
Yes, sir. Rudder 0 degrees to port.
Gently. Gently. Good, the batteries were not damaged. Well done, damage control team.
Yes, sir. Rudder 1
Alright.
3 degrees to
Ease
starboard.
into that turn. Gently.
Yes, sir.
Come
Rudder
on.
2 0 degrees to starboard. Rudder 3 2 degrees to starboard.
A little more.
Yes, sir.
Odd
Rudder
more.
3 5 degrees to starboard. Yes, sir.
Hold on. Stop. Stop. Stop.
Yes, sir. Back slow. All stop. We're taking damage, sir.
No, this is good.
Yes, sir. Ahead
This is
slow.
fine. Yep, just
We're
gently,
taking damage, sir.
gently.
Yes, sir. All stop. Yes, sir. Rudder 2 degrees to port. We're taking damage, sir. Yes,
Ease it
sir.
in there.
Rudder 0 degrees to starboard.
Now nature takes its course. Very important to maintain a full damage control
We're
team
taking
when
damage,
parking.
sir.
Alright, stable. Stable. Steady. Alright. Go patrol. Nearly 15,000 tons of allied boat. A fine patrol. Medals for everyone. Fine, productive 2 weeks at sea. Good boating.